Hello and welcome to today's show, and hello Dom.
Hi Robbie, alright?
How was that donut?
Well, it was nice. It was just a normal donut.
You realise you're meant to be working right now, yeah?
Well, you gotta have a nice lunch break now and then, haven't you?
Yeah, Dom, the time is 5:15.
Well, I mean, it's been a good 3 hours since my last meal, so...
Right, okay. Let's get on. You have picked your team of the season, your 11 plus your manager.
Yep.
I've done mine too. I don't know about you. I've tried to go for players that are not in the team of the season, the actual voted one, because I always feel that there's certain players that you could make a second, and sometimes even a third 11 that could easily be in team of the season, but it's always the big players, and they're always overlooked.
I mean, I've definitely chose the big players. In
the
my
big
team.
players.
I haven't tried. I found it hard to look at the other players.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 players, possibly 4. I'm not too sure, that are in the team of the season.
I think I've got a good 5.
Good 11. Okay, well, let's get started. I'll tell you what, let's start at the back. Let's start with your goalkeeper. Who have you gone for?
I got Petr from Chelsea.
Good call.
Yeah, just feel that he's kept them in them a lot this season. So.
Well, you're not going to like mine. I've gone for David De Gea.
David De Gea.
He's
He's improved a lot this season, I've got to say. He's definitely improved, but I still don't rate him as a Manchester United keeper.
No, I mean, I see where you're coming from. I think he's improved. I think he's got a long way to go. But I think goalkeeping this season hasn't been up to the scratch that it was this season before. I mean, the season before, I would say there was 5 or 6. You had Michel Vorm, you had Tim Krul, you had Petr Cech, like you say. I think Petr Cech's... I wouldn't say he's got worse, but
I mean, the other
I think
contender
he's
I had
aging.
for goalkeeper this season was Simon Mignolet from Sunderland.
Yeah, well, I've made a little note at the top of my sheet. 2 players that have dropped form, 2 players that have picked up in form. Not in my team of the season. And Simon Mignolet is on my dropped form. I think this season he hasn't been as good as what he was the season before. Of course, Liverpool don't really care. They've gone and signed him. Hopefully he will pick up form. I wish him the best of luck at Liverpool. He's certainly going to go further than he was at Sunderland. Coming from 2 Newcastle fans.
Yeah, well, I've got to praise them. They've done very well. He's done very well this season. Sunderland.
Where does Sunderland go now? I mean,
under the management of Paolo Di Canio, I don't think...
Are they going to put Kieran Westwood in number 1 or...?
Yeah, I would imagine so. I've seen him and he is a good young keeper, I think, so... Anyways, I think we should move on to the defenders. In right back, I have Kyle Walker from Tottenham, Rio Ferdinand from Manchester United, Laurent Koscielny from Arsenal, and Patrice Evra from Manchester United.
We've got one in common. Can you guess which one?
Ferdinand.
No, I hate Ferdinand. I shouldn't say that on radio, should I? No, I dislike Ferdinand's playing style. I think he's getting older and he's... I can't remember who came out this season, but there was a professional footballer came out mid-season, I think. It was when he was going through all the England controversy. And he said, look, he's past it. And I thought, what a fantastic interview. He has, he's past it. And thank God someone else sees like me. No, it's not him. It's Patrice Evra. We've both overlooked Baines. I mean, why have you overlooked Baines?
Baines just doesn't... He's a great player. It's just unfortunate he's in a time where he's had just been unlucky, the fact that he's had other players better than him. I mean, I think if Ashley Cole wasn't there, he would be in the same position that Ashley Cole was. He's probably on the same level as Ashley Cole, but obviously Ashley Cole's just got that bit more experience than Baines has. So
okay, right. I went for him because he's goals. I know Baines can score goals, but I think it's rare to see Evra score so many goals. So I thought I'd give him a little bit of credit there. My centre backs, I've gone for the young Manchester City centre back Nastasic and Phil Jagielka. Phil Jagielka has been a solid rock at the back of Everton. for many years now, and he deserves a bit of credit. And he's got my credit.
I can't agree with Jagielka.
You can't disagree.
No, can't.
Can you agree or can you disagree?
I can't agree. Sorry.
Excellent. Yeah,
I can't agree on that. However, I disagree on Nastasic. Nastasic has been very inconsistent throughout the whole season, I feel.
I thought he's come in, he's had an instant impact, and I think without him, they really would have struggled this season. They've had some injuries at the back.
I mean, they've got Jolie and Lescott there. When he comes in, he seems to play really well, but that's obviously not good enough. It wasn't obviously good enough for Mancini, so...
Well, who did you say that you'd put at right back?
I have Kyle Walker.
I've gone for Ivanovic. Again, I would say Ivanovic, I've gone for him because of his attacking side.
Yeah.
I also contended with a little bit of Zabaleta.
Zabaleta it was either between Walker or Zabaleta. I went for Walker because I think he's had more of an impact on the team this year than Zabaleta has. Okay,
well, we'll move on to midfield. I'll start us off. Right mid, I've gone for Juan Mata, and he was in Team of the Season. You can't overlook him. He's had a fantastic season.
Mm-hmm. I would say he's carried Arsenal really in some games.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea. I'm getting everything wrong tonight. I'm getting everything wrong tonight. Heads everywhere.
Sack him. Sack this man.
Yeah, he's carried Chelsea throughout the season. He's just he's had great stuff that no one else can on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he's carried Chelsea like I'm carrying this show. It's going to be the Morgan show soon.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to be sacked after this.
Yeah, okay. Who have you gone for in your right midfield? Is Mata in your team?
Yes, he is in fact right mid.
Right mid, okay, excellent. Yeah, okay, well, we'll move on then. Centre mids?
I've got a 3-man midfield.
Who's your one centre mid then?
Cazorla.
He's not one of mine. I've tried to overlook the big names. I've gone for David Luiz. I never rated him, and I don't think he's a defender at all. And I suddenly started finding myself that I'm rating him now as in centre mid. I think Benitez has made a fantastic impact on him playing in centre mid, and I hope he stays there under Jose Mourinho because I think he's fantastic in centre mid. And I've gone for Johan Cabaye.
Ooh, yeah.
Solid as a rock.
You see, I think he hasn't had a great season, in my opinion, and that's a Newcastle fan speaking.
I think he's dropped form from the season before, but the season before I thought he was unbelievable. I still think he's good enough to be in a team this season.
Yes, well, my other midfielder is just kind of the very obvious name, and Gareth Bale.
Yeah, me too.
Carried Tottenham through the season.
As much as I wanted to overlook the big players, he was one of the ones alongside Juan Mata that you just can't replace. I mean, I couldn't even think of another left mid off the top of my head right now, but I tell you what, they'll be miles below. I tell you what, we'll go with my team, Newcastle, Jonas Gutierrez.
Yeah,
okay, well, I think we'll move on, shall we? Yeah. Okay, I tell you what. We're going to take a quick break, and after the break, we're going to tell you our 2 forwards, or 3 in Dom's case, and our manager of the season. Hello and welcome back. You're back with me, Robbie Morgan.
And me, Dominic James.
Okay, now I'll tell you what, let's go for forwards now, shall we, Dom?
Yeah.
Kick us off. Just kick us off with one, and I'll tell you whether I've got it.
I'll start off with the obvious name of Robin van Persie.
Yeah, I've overlooked him.
Ooh, I think he's been the best striker in the Premier League this season. I'd struggle to overlook him. Just for the sheer goals. And
I thought there was a lot of competition, so I thought with it's different to Bale on the left mid. I think Bale was
He was that one-man team.
Bale was not only that, there was no other left mid that could really contend with him. There was good, but there was not quite his level. I think Robin van Persie, there is good, but there is also people climbing up to his level. There's a lot of good strikers in this league. I've gone for Michu.
He started off the season very well.
What was he, like 4th top goal scorer? Which is
Yeah.
astounding for a newcomer. And for a team that weren't really battling for anything. To be putting in so many goals.
Quite weird for Swansea, actually. They got in a really good position before the Carling Cup. And then, obviously, they played it. I mean, obviously...
Head's gone.
Yeah. And then they just didn't do anything after the win in the Carling Cup. They just seemed to just go off the face of the earth, and we didn't see anything from them from the rest of the season. And I think that showed from the league position in the table.
Okay, who else you gone for?
Lukaku from for his
Ooh, good call.
from West Brom. And
I think he's going to be a popular man this transfer window.
yeah, I mean, I think it'd be interesting to find out whether Chelsea actually sell him or.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to be in Jose's plans, whether he's going to keep him as a reserve or. I'm not too sure. We'll see.
And the other striker I've gone for is Christian Benteke from Aston Villa. For a very young team, he's been their main man. He's supported the other younger players and just scored all their goals pretty much.
I agree. I've had to overlook him just because I think he hasn't quite reached his full potential, and I say that because he's not in a team that he can do. I've gone for Demba Ba because I thought he obviously had the first half of the season at Newcastle, the second half at Chelsea, and his move just seemed to be so smooth, and he never seemed to drop form. No. And I think that's so hard for a footballer, and he's done it to perfection, and he's managed to, I don't know what his final total was, but between the two sides that he's played for this season, an astounding total considering he's had a transfer right in the middle. Yeah. I mean, you saw what happened with Fernando Torres when he did that a few years back. Yeah. I mean, people don't quite understand how hard that is.
I mean, I think for Demba Ba, he's benefited from playing with the midfielders that can thread a ball through.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously Newcastle aren't quite where Chelsea are, but they've still got an astounding midfield in Kabay and then you've got a lot of attacking players, and then he's gone into Chelsea, and it's quite similar with Juan Mata and your David Luiz's, like I was talking about, and Frank Lampard, of course. I mean, I've overlooked Frank Lampard. On reflection, would he? I don't know. Maybe he could have got in my team above Kabay. Yeah. Okay. Manager of the season. This isn't going to take long. Go Dom.
I've gone for Rafa Benitez.
Okay.
Simply because he took a club on that the fans didn't want him to be there, and he just took it on the chin, and he just got on with his job, and he went and won 2 trophies. And I think if Jose Mourinho didn't want to leave Real Madrid, I still think he could have been manager of Chelsea at the minute.
Yeah, I'll tell you mine is a young man called Rafa Benitez. It's weird because we haven't actually told each other. We did these in private, and we've both come up with Rafa Benitez as manager of the season. How that is weird, but yeah, he's come in, like you said, I'm just repeating you here, he wasn't wanted, and he's worked in the most intense of conditions, and I think he's done a fantastic job. I'd have loved to see him if he was working in nice conditions, he was getting cheered on by the fans, there was a nice atmosphere at Stamford Bridge. I think they could have been contending for the title right from the start, because, I think Chelsea fans haven't done themselves any favours yet. They've had a mediocre season, not great for the league, but certainly for the trophies. So Benitez, we've both agreed there.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're going to leave you there.
If you want to obviously get in in contact with us, we're on Twitter. I'm Don16James and Robbie is.
And Rob Morgan, 1996. We hope to see you very, very soon. Bye bye.